Hey guys, I'm back, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'm finally going to be doing a movie review on a Minecraft movie 3 weeks late. This is of course an adaptation of Minecraft. This was released in 2025. It stars Jason Momoa, Jack Black, and Sebastian Eugene Hansen. In this movie, 4 misfits are pulled through a mysterious portal into the overworld, a bizarre cubic wonderland that thrives on imagination. To get back home, they'll have to master this world while embarking on a magical quest with an unexpected expert crafter, Steve. Now, obviously, this is a late review, and I am pretty behind on movies, but I did still want to make a full review on this film. Point of reference, I grew up with Minecraft. It's a game that has meant a lot to me throughout my life, as it has to many other people, and obviously it's an insanely popular game, and you know, like for me personally, I'm a huge fan of this game and it means a lot to me. So I was of course excited to see a Minecraft film, and my kind of thoughts on this movie have changed over time from when we first saw the teaser till like right before the release of the movie. I did make a video on that, feel free to check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, without further ado, let's just begin with this movie review and let's start talking about the positives. So obviously the approach this movie took is a divisive one, with it being a very comedic and silly approach and it not taking itself seriously, and that's obviously something that a lot of people don't like about it. But if you like what you saw in the trailers, or if you like Jared Hess's style and his type of humor, there is fun to be had here. You know, with Jared Hess being the director, he injects a lot of his, you know, his like style of humor and a lot of silliness into this, and you know, it's absurdist, it doesn't take itself seriously, and with all that in mind, I genuinely had a bit of fun with this because of that, because I do like that approach. Obviously I kind of would have rather it not taken that approach, because this is the first big screen Minecraft movie we're getting, but for what it is, and because I have kind of accepted what it is and I just went into it knowing what it was going for, I did have some fun with it. A good deal of the jokes land here in my opinion, so I definitely didn't have a bad time with this. It's obviously very silly Jared Hess humor, but I like that stuff, so again, I did not have a bad time with this. And kind of helping this be decently enjoyable for me for the most part was that I thought the characters were fun, and you know, the cast is generally solid, nothing great from them, but you know, for what they're doing, they're all fine, so that's good to see. But I thought the characters were all fine enough. They're not good, they don't have enough development or depth, and they're not compelling by any means, but you know, they're the main characters of a movie. You have to spend 101 minutes with them, and I definitely didn't have a bad experience with them. I didn't dislike the time I spent with them, if you know what I mean. And you know, I thought they were all kind of fun to watch, you know, especially Jason Momoa's character, who is kind of a play on the generic stereotypical macho stoic action hero, so that was fun to see. Also, on a production level, this film is solid. It's got impressive practical sets and props. Obviously, there's a lot of CGI stuff in there, but there is also a lot of effort put into the practical stuff here, which, you know, you will have seen from, you know, trailers and behind the scenes stuff. There's been, you know, quite a bit of coverage about that, but it's definitely really nice to see all the effort that was put into that element of the film, even if it's not fully accurate to the game, like the practical sets and the props and stuff, but still, you know, very, very solid stuff. And along those same lines, the CGI is pretty decent for the most part, I think. The designs for the mobs are a different thing. They're not pretty decent for the most part, but the CGI is like fine. It's like generally kind of convincing enough. I don't think it's terrible CGI or anything, because there obviously is a lot of CGI in this film. And obviously, as you can say about pretty much any video game movie, there are some nice references and nods to the game, so for people like me who are fans of the game, it's good that they have that stuff in there. And a final thing to say in the positives, which isn't really a positive, but I thought it's probably worth talking about. You know, you get the Jack Black Steve memes in here, and you get a good number of new ones that weren't shown in any of the trailers, so you know, that's something that's worth talking about. Slime cube. And now we move on to the negatives. As I said, I had a decent amount of fun with this, but as a film, it's a rough watch. It's lazy and sloppy with its storytelling. The dialogue is 90% exposition here, genuinely. Not even because of Steve going through seemingly every item in the game and saying their names in funny ways. Not even because of that. Genuinely, it's unnatural how much of the story is progressed through just lazy exposition here. It really, really got frustrating, and it feels like there was so little effort put into the script. Like, I know it's kind of an expected thing to say, but on a story level, this film is just genuinely, like, it's actually kind of incompetent, honestly. And as I said earlier about the characters, they don't get enough development to be interesting, or dare I say it, compelling. I mean, you know, like I said, I thought they were, like, decently fun to watch. I thought they were, like okay enough characters. They weren't, like, bad characters or anything, but they genuinely feel really underwritten, undercooked. And in the case of Danielle Brooks' character, she genuinely just feels kind of unnecessary. She's just kind of there. There isn't really much to her. She's just kind of along for the ride with the other characters, and that really is disappointing to see, to be honest. That there literally is a character in here who literally feels like she could have been taken out and not much would have changed, I reckon. Also, as I was saying earlier, the designs for some of the mobs in here are genuinely horrific. Like, they're genuinely really poor designs. They do a really poor job of translating the characters to live action, which is so disappointing, because obviously, like, when the news came out this was going to be a live action Minecraft movie, it's like, you know, you need to get the designs right, and I genuinely think this movie fails to do that for so many of its designs. I think it's kind of appropriate to compare this to the original Sonic design and then the Sonic redesign for Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, that movie. Some of the designs for the mobs in here reminded me of the original Sonic design, where they tried to make them look more realistic and, you know, translate them into live action in a very unnatural way. What I think they should have done with the designs here is do what they did with the Sonic redesign and embrace the cartoony elements of it a bit more, and just make it look closer to the original thing and not try to make it look more realistic. I honestly think you could have done a live action Minecraft movie and not have some of the mobs look like these. It can't have been that hard, right? This next thing isn't a major issue because it's something that people who aren't fans of the game won't care about, but this is a film that incorporates elements from the game inaccurately. So obviously there's a scene with spider jockeys where there are a load of spider jockeys at once, even though they're meant to be rare in the game, and apparently pink sheep are the only sheep in this Minecraft world, and just stuff like that, which it just gets some things just wrong, which, like, you know, again, it's not a major issue because people who aren't fans of the game won't care about it, but it does make this something of a poor adaptation. Like, I honestly don't really think this is a great movie adaptation of Minecraft, and it just doesn't really do a great job of, like, making this that accessible to newcomers. Like, it's not like I don't think newcomers will not be able to enjoy it whatsoever, but obviously I'm someone who grew up with Minecraft and knows pretty much everything about it. I can't really imagine what this film would be like for someone who's never played Minecraft or doesn't know anything about it, unfortunately. And kind of along those same lines, Minecraft is such a huge game with so much to it. It's obviously had so many updates and had so much stuff added to it over the years, and I feel like this film would have been more effective if it was just the basic elements of the game. Obviously, the core of Minecraft, at least Minecraft survival, is you're put into this world where you have to figure out ways to survive these monsters that come after you at night, and you've got to build for your safety, all that kind of stuff. And obviously the game's had so much stuff added to it, and this film kind of, I feel like it kind of tries to do a bit too much, and I think it would have been both more effective and more accessible to newcomers if the story of the film had just been that basic premise of the game. Like, I really feel like that should have been the way they did this film. But, you know, the main villain of this film is literally a piglin, and, like, piglins are like fairly recent things in the game, and, like, it's funny to me how one of the posters for this film is literally just a bee, when there was a time not too long ago where bees weren't added into the game yet. This film can sometimes just feel like a messy mixture of elements from the game, and as a result it loses the charm and fun of what Minecraft survival is about at its core. There are also, like, scenes in here featuring certain song choices that just scream of studio interference, and I'm pretty sure it's confirmed that those were the result of studio interference, because there was an unfinished version of this movie that leaked online, and in that version the original song choices were different, in case you didn't know. But yeah, quite a bit of that movie has that feel where it does feel a bit studio interference heavy and can sometimes feel like it's in conflict with itself a little bit. I wouldn't call this movie soulless, because I'd say the stuff that Jared Hess puts into it gives it something of a soul, but it also does feel a little bit tampered with by the studio at points, which is really annoying. And the final thing to talk about here is whether you like the direction they went with for this movie or not, the approach they took, whether you accepted it for what it is or not. The fact is, this is just an odd choice for a Minecraft film. Minecraft is a game that so many people, myself included, have been waiting to see a film adaptation of for so long now, and the fact that this is what we get for the first big screen Minecraft Minecraft movie is just honestly like disappointing. The fact this is just people from the real world being transported into the Minecraft world movie, and it obviously just it isn't really trying to be like a serious adventure film or anything, which a lot of people wanted to see. The fact is that's disappointing whether you accepted this movie for what it is or not. So overall, a Minecraft movie does not come close to being in the same ballpark as good. In fact, I would say it leans slightly more towards being bad. The script, story, and writing are all very ham-fisted. Whenever it tries to add emotional depth to what's going on or deliver messaging, it is utterly basic and it fails. But because I gelled with the humor in this film and ultimately just kind of, quite liked what Jared Hess did with it, and I accepted it for what it is before going into it, I definitely didn't have a terrible time with this at all. I absolutely think there are worse ways to spend 101 minutes, so I'm going to give a Minecraft movie 5.5 out of 10, and that's pretty much it for this review. Thank you very much for watching this review. If you did enjoy, please do remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to. If you have seen a Minecraft movie, feel free to let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.